I think he does too. I asked him at halftime, I said, how did they feel? He said, they felt good. I said, we'll just keep shooting and we'll keep coming to you. And I thought he really moved well without him. He always does. He's terrific. And he was using his shot fake, and he was really crafty with, you know, those last 2 shots he got.
And how about the way your players all rushed together at that time out after we did that? They were all so happy for him.
You know, everybody knows he's struggling. You know, and they see him working hard. They see him coming in and getting extra work in. They see what he does in practice. I mean, when I tell you he kills it in practice, he absolutely kills it. And it's just a matter of time. I mean, he's done it this year in games. He just hasn't done it as much as he would like or as we thought. But, you know, a lot of times when you have shooters, if they're not shooting well, you've got to get them out. With Josh, he plays terrific defense. He's always in the right place. He knows different positions on the floor. He can feed the post. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's got size. So he can be out there and be effective. And even if he's not shooting, they chase him around all over the place, knowing that at any point in time he can do exactly what he just did.
How much?
That's a weapon.
How much of the offense is designed to get him open looks when he's out there?
Well, it really depends on what we're running. Sometimes we'll run something specifically for him. Sometimes we'll just run motion and try to free him up, you know, in the framework of everything else we're doing. He's got a real good sense of how to get open, how they're playing him. And he went through that in high school. You know, sometimes they're going to lock into his hip. They're going to play him on one side and try to take him to the other side. They'll play directly behind him. You know, they'll top block him and make him go under everything. I mean, he's seen it all. Sometimes they'll switch out on him, you know, and then we've got to be able to hit the slip guy. But, you know, we did that a couple times.
Talk about the block shots and, you know, that 3-guard lineup, and they would be attacking the basket. This block 12 of them really kind of seemed to change the tempo of the game.
Well, you know, I thought, you know, I thought John did a good job. You know, he was swinging the ball to the corner and driving from there. I mean, that's tough action to guard. Fortunately, we had Gabe back there tonight, and he was sort of taking care of business for us.
It looked like Marble had no hesitation to get Ogilvy the ball in those situations, even though I think he missed his first 4 threes. Is there something you can amplify to that?
No, I think it's an accurate assessment. You know, Dev's a very good point guard. He's going to load up our shooters. He's going to give it up on the break. He's going to feed the post. He's going to recognize switching. You know, we felt like Josh could get some shots in that situation. You know, when we had a lead, we wanted to run the clock and then shoot it towards the end of the clock, and we were successful.
After the game, you seemed to have kind of an emotional moment there with Josh right before his interview, and I guess, what did you say to him there? And what
if you know Josh, I mean, he's a phenomenally likable person, and you know, he's tried so hard to do what he did tonight all the time. It'd be different if he wasn't putting the time in, if he wasn't a great teammate. You know, that's why, you know, you saw me hugging him, but the team really reacted to him one time out, and somebody else pointed that out.
And I guess, how important was it for him to have a night like this where, I mean, he was struggling early on and then hits maybe the 2 biggest shots of the game?
You know, I think that's the key, because he had some really good looks early. We were going to him early, and the one didn't look like it was going to go in, and the other 3 looked like they were going into me. He felt good about it, so I just felt we'll just keep going to him, because he's going to make them, and he did.
Dev really did a good job of controlling the tempo on the offense. He was 10 for 10 from the free throw line, did a lot of rebounds, assists. Do you like the way he runs the offense and what he does for you?
I do. I thought, you know, tonight in particular, he was especially good. He had a great tempo to his game, a real understanding of time and score, you know, in terms of engineering victory, getting us home. But I thought he played with great energy level. I played him 34 minutes. There was a stretch there in the second half where I wasn't real sure I wanted to take him out. But I felt like there was going to be a lot of pressure on him in the last 6 or 7 minutes, so I took him out for a couple minutes. And we were still able to maintain the lead. And he was strong for the finish. That was good.
Defense, 2 times when, defense was historic early on, and Illinois had been averaging 70 points a game, so that was a factor too.
Well, the defense was spectacular early, you're right. I think the shot, what did they shoot in the first half, 26%. A little disturbing that we hold them 26%, we're up 3. Again, because we had a similar half that we had the other night at Indiana where we turned it over in the first half, which is very uncharacteristic of our team. Let's settle down in the second half, do what we needed to do.
There were a couple of times where Indiana made a few runs, got it to a one-possession game. What did you see in terms of the poise of your team to not get rattled at that point? And how does that show how much they've grown this year?
Well, we didn't turn it over. We got good shots at the basket, and we were driving the ball. You know, you need to be in the bonus, and you need to get to the double bonus in that situation. Case in point, you know, Zach misses the front end, but makes the back end, gives us a 3-possession lead. You know, it's so much better to go up to that line with 2, knowing that you're going to have the other one if you miss the first one. So, you know, in terms of managing the game that way, it was a very good job, very important to do that.
You talked about how your defense, though, has carried you, kept you in games where last year you would have got blown out, and is this like another example of that?
Well, we shot 28% in the second half, and we won by 8. So I think you're absolutely right, Jake. You know, our defense in both halves was what it needed to be for us to win. Last year, you know, we would have lost 77-63. You know, if we shot 28% in the second half and played the defense the way we played last year. So it's showing you the team has really grown, and we're obviously much deeper, and there's a lot of different ways I can go when I go to my bench.
Can you talk about the specific defensive play where you pushed their penetration underneath the basket? They attacked multiple times, but you kept them in a place where they couldn't really get a pass.
Well, you know, I wish I could tell you that there was something ingenious that I came up with. The way they were running their offense, and you know, the thing you're always worried about with Illinois is their 3-point shooters, especially when Griffey starts in the high post and pops out, and they go 4 out, or he goes back in and then pops, and they're, so you're in a zone, but you got everybody up above the line essentially. So we're matching the 3-point shooters. I think that's why John started saying, hey, let's run some cutters through, drive it from there. We could potentially beat them to the rim. So it's incumbent then upon our posts to get over, either in body up or get over and block a shot. Gabe's reaction was terrific. He went when he needed to, and he was able to block shots without fouling. And then we picked up the loose balls after we blocked shots. I think that was important too.
You got Woodbury going early, made a couple of early shots. He seemed to really be poised in the post, especially early in the game.
Well, I thought Woodbury was terrific tonight. I mean, you know, he made that mistake at the end, but even then, I mean, we were trapped in the ball screen. He was moving his feet. Terrific. He just reached at the last second. That's a freshman mistake. He'll learn from that. I thought Woody was great. You're right. Okay.